election presidential debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2027. Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2027. Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2027. Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2027. Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellence. Busitema decides 2027. Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2027.
Welcome to Busitema University, where your journey to a bright future begins. We are thrilled to welcome you to our community of learners, teachers, and innovators. With 6 campuses strategically located across the country, offering unparalleled access to quality education. From the scenic hills of Busia to the vibrant towns of Mbale, Arapai, Nagongera, Kaliro, and Namasagali, these campuses embody the diversity and richness of Uganda's culture and landscape. Today, the university offers vast courses in engineering, science education, and technological science, animal and environmental sciences, as well as medicine. This arms students with a foundation and skills in pursuit of excellence for decades to come. Welcome to Busitema University, where you're...
Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2027. Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara.
Yeah, probably they shared with me.
They are making noise there, maybe they have seen them.
Mic check 1 2.
So,
This space is mine.
are you seeing now the candidates?
Black. Do you remind me that phone? Do you remind me? Yeah, it's a Bagambi kushigala nation. Oh, you did that one. They're going to start.
Yes.
Is it? You're supposed to close the door.
Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV.
Good evening and most welcome to the 2026 presidential debate of Busitema University Guild Presidents. My name is Iramo Alice Elizabeth and I'll be your host tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this presidential debate offers a platform for the candidates to present their visions, articulate policy priorities, and to engage on issues that matter to the student body. It is not just about persuasion, but rather accountability and a shared commitment to a constructive dialogue that will usher us into the future of our university. With me are two very able candidates, Kamara Onesmus and Alowo Stacy Matha. These will engage in a very heated and insightful contest tonight, and from here we can tell who is more prepared to take on the mantle to be the next guild president of Busitema University. Before I usher us into this, allow me to take us through a few rules for our discussion tonight. I hope the candidates are doing well.
Me personally, I'm doing well.
Oh, that's nice to hear. So we are going to engage in a very respectful dialogue, decent language. When one candidate is speaking, the other should not interrupt. You can only ask after I have maybe given you a go-ahead, or after the submission of one candidate, and then the other can come in with theirs. So ladies and gentlemen, Alowo Martha Stacy is a student of Faculty of Science and Education. She's a second year student pursuing a Bachelor in Arts of Education, English and English and Literature. We also have Kamara Onesmus, who is a third year student of Water Resources Engineering from the Faculty of Engineering and Technology. Without further ado, allow me to invite these candidates to briefly tell us more about themselves. We shall start with the lady.
Good evening to everyone. My name is Stacy Martha Alowo Toto. I'm a year 2 student from Nagongara campus, Busitema University, and also an aspirant for the post of guild president. I'm pleased to be here.
Thank you, Martha.
Fellow students of Busitema University, from the lecture halls of Busitema campus, the clinics of Mbale, the fields of Arapai, the business areas of Palisa, the resources of Namasagali. Here standing before you is one of you. My name is Kamara Onesmus, a student of Water Resources Engineering, who is apparently in his 3rd year of study, who has traveled the same dusty roads between our 6 campuses, sat in overcrowded classes or even under mango trees to attend lectures, stayed in hostels that don't have proper water supply, stayed outside for so long on concentration Wi-Fi points to do my research, a student who has visited our clinics but didn't get the necessary medical care system that we deserved, and also a student who has watched my friends drop out of school just because the system simply forgot them. I know your frustrations, I know the distance, but I can also tell you that I understand the fire that is burning amongst us as students of Busitema University, and we are here to say, let's rise. And that's why I'm here in front of you, fellow students, Kamara Onesmus, aspiring to be your next guild president. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear candidates, for that brief introduction. Ladies and gentlemen viewing us, we are live on BUTV in the studios of the Faculty of Science and Education. Please join us, share the link, and have a good viewership for this session. I would like to take us briefly through the structure of tonight's debate. We are going to have generic questions for both candidates. We shall also have very specific and particular questions to the candidates. In between, we shall have a quiz about the university. So we hope that candidates are well conversant with the university policies and everything. We shall also have a cross-examination between the candidates, and we shall engage the electorate at a later time to ask questions to these candidates. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start with Kamara Onesmus. Who is Kamara? Beyond your name, can we know you better?
Thank you so much. Beyond Kamara Onesmus as the name, just like the way I introduced myself earlier, a student of Water Resources Engineering in my 3rd year of study.
I need to interrupt a bit. You have 3 minutes.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay.
I will use the 3 minutes productively. Beyond the name and the leadership career that I personally have walked through, it also gives me a baseline or the mandate to run for guild president. While I was in high school, I engaged in leadership responsibilities right off from my O-level, being the vice chairperson for the council union of my school. In my A-level, I engaged again and I advanced to the position of the head prefect, where I managed to serve my students diligently. I was also the president for the debate society of my school, that is St. Peter's SS Nyarushanje in Rukunjiri district. And also again, I was also the captain for the school volleyball team. When I was admitted in Busitema University, in my year 1, I became the class coordinator for the water resources engineering class and also the chief coordinator for the entire cohort of 2023-2024. Along the way, I was given a chance to serve in a convocation as an ambassador. I also acted as the resident campus commissioner for the Busitema campus during the recess term. Apparently, I'm also the captain for the volleyball team of Busitema University. I'm also the president for the government-sponsored students in Busitema University. So beyond just the name, there is a highlight of leadership channel that Kamara Onesmus has taken, and I believe I have the mandate, I believe I'm capable, and I believe since I have served the students in those different capacities, then I can literally still serve them better in the position of guild president. Thank you so much.
Over to you, Stacy Martha. Who is Martha, Stacy? Could you tell us what experience and attributes you bring to this position of guild presidency?
Thank you so much, moderator. Just as I said before, my name is Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, and simply a very diligent woman. I'm very dedicated to service, and also I have been in the shadows. I haven't actually participated in active leadership in this university. However, in my past experiences, I have been a leader in my former schools, that is St. Joseph's Girls SS Zambia and Bishop Cipriano Chihangire. During that time, we had very many issues as students. However, with the constant engagement of our fellows, with the constant speeches, discussions, we managed to deliver some of the activities and give service to the students, and also the attributes I bring to this position. As a student who has been in the shadows of Busitema, I have noticed very many atrocities, very many bad things that have happened to us as students in their different categories. So me coming out of my comfort zone, I bring accountability, I bring transparency, and I bring inclusiveness to all the students. We deserve to have a very good campus environment whereby we feel safe and comfortable for our learning processes. However, nothing can be achieved even when we tend to be okay, but without us standing up for ourselves, there is nothing that can be achieved. And I believe I can use this position to create a very small, however impactful change to the student society at large. Thank you.
Thank you for that very beautiful submission, Martha. Still with you. What inspired you to come for this role? What impactful change do you intend to make?
My inspiration doesn't come from far. Just like I told you before, I am a dedicated person, and I would simply love to give back to the society that shaped the kind of person I am. Coming here in year 1, I was a very, very stubborn girl. However, engaging with the students from the different diversities of the country, I managed to lower myself a bit, be in society, and actually understand how someone would feel if they were in my shoes, how I would feel if I was in someone else's shoes. And I simply want to give back to the society that has shaped the kind of person that I am.
Thank you very much, Martha, for that submission. Onesmus, I believe this is the second time you're contesting as guild president. Where are you drawing your inspiration from?
Thank you so very much for that wonderful question. And where I draw my attention from to keep engaging and looking for ways of representation of my fellow students is because I believe leadership is not about sounding defensive or shifting blame to the invisible hands, but then leadership is about clarity, humility, and accountability. I'm here in front of my students of Busitema University with a strong zeal and belief that we can still stand and we protect the interests of the students at all costs. Because we believe Busitema University, being a university of unique opportunities, is a university that deserves better. a university that deserves better leadership right away from the Students' Guild. And for me personally, I don't feel well when I find my fellow students passing through situations that I personally can offer a voice and bridge a gap between them and administration, and will make things better. And one of the major issues that is bringing me on board is the issue of the level of dropouts of our friends that we are seeing. It is a very big challenge, as I have already told you, fellow students. I personally, being a class coordinator, have interacted with students right off from year one. I personally, in my class, we started when we were 74 students, but apparently we are 49. We have lost over 30 students who have dropped out. But then we are asking ourselves, if we cannot defend these students, if we cannot stand and raise fair tuition policies for these students, or negotiate on their behalf, then that means we are losing the meaning of our university and the motto, which is pursuing excellence. And that's what keep pressing me. And I believe once I'm given the opportunity, as I will explain in my manifesto, we shall see where we are going to take Busitema in the next 8 months. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Onesmus. So I'd like to ask you, you've hinted on dropout, and you attributed it to higher tuition?
Unfair tuition policies.
Unfair tuition policies. Could you break that down for us?
Thank you so very much. When I talk about a tuition policy, right now in Busitema University, we are working on a 100% tuition policy, where a student is entitled to clear 100% of the tuition before they sit exams. While I was contesting in the previous selection, we had brought it as a challenge, and the 3 initiatives that we had suggested, up to now they have not worked. We had suggested that if a student has shown a commitment to fulfill an obligation, that they must clear tuition, but along the way, because of unforeseen circumstances, they are unable to complete tuition, how best can we negotiate for them so that they sit for the exams? Me personally, the idea that I have and that I'm bringing on board once I'm given the position of guild president is, instead of forcing a student to register for a dead year, why don't we look at the amount of money that this student has paid? We also look at the course units that they are doing, so that we balance the equivalence, and we see if a student is doing only 6 course units and they have paid 1 million, we see 1 million is equivalent to 4 course units. They do the 4 course units, in the rest ones they can do them later once they clear tuition as missed exams, other than forcing a student to go out, report for a dead year. By the time they return back, even the other 1 million that they have paid is completely useless, because they will start from zero. Or else we give them an initiative or an idea, they sit exams, then they don't see results unless if they clear tuition. And that's one of the ideas that I'm trying to bring on board.
So Onesmus, my question is, how will you advocate for this fair tuition policy without causing institutional pushbacks?
When we interact with administration, those professors in university council, we believe also at one point they were in the same condition that we are in, and they are parents in their own category. The first question that we would like to pose to them, meanwhile as we are beginning the negotiation, is how do they feel when they admit students and by the end of the day they don't graduate? That is the first question. Then again, now when we come to the issue of how do we make sure that this policy doesn't impact the university negatively? Number one, we are here to pursue excellence. And one of the reasons as to why Busitema was established in rural areas is to capture that population that is in rural areas, and it was established by the NRM government to make sure that everyone accesses education. So if we sit down and we negotiate with them, number one, we are not looking at a point of sabotaging the university financially, but we are looking at a point of making sure that by the end of the day we will fulfill the obligation of government to make sure that these students, by the end of the day, they do what? They complete tuition. These students, by the end of the day, they finish and they graduate out of school. So when we talk about the issue of sabotaging the finances of the university, number one, it is just a request, because we cannot keep seeing students drop out of school. If there are other initiatives that we can create for these students so that they graduate and can generate income for the university, just like the way top management had suggested a student work policy, bringing students on board, working, and by the end of the day, they are paid their time. Because we have students who are good in cleaning, students who are good in mowing, students who are good in organization. When you bring these initiatives on board, number one, we don't sabotage the finances of the university, but it is a service. You learn, you work, and by the end of the day, you survive in campus. So in one way or the other, once we are bringing about initiatives, then we are not sabotaging the university financially, but then we are looking for possible solutions to keep every student in school. And that's what Kamara Onesmus is coming for. Thank you.
Thank you, Onesmus. Martha, Stacy, you are a new face to the Busitema University politics. And there's a saying that goes that new brooms sweep best. My question is, what do you intend to bring to the guild? New ideas, what has not been existing before that you intend to bring?
Thank you. Being a new face in the university politics, I believe that you start with the small steps. So what I want to do as Stacy Martha Alowo Toto in the position of guild president, would love to start from the grassroots. Excuse me. Start from the grassroots, so that we can actually show the students that there is hope, because many of them have lost hope in their leaders. They no longer have the urge to vote. They no longer have the urge to participate in these leadership issues. But then for us, we want to start from the grassroots, so that we can let them know that, there is at least hope somewhere, somehow. We'd love to review most of the policies, so that we push them to the students' interests, and we'd love to have a better relationship between the students and the administration. There is nothing that can be done when those two bodies are being antagonistic, and there is a lot to be done, honestly, but if you do not start from the grassroots, if you do not show the students that they hold the power, if you do not show the students that they can have hope in the leadership, that is by being accountable, being transparent, and being inclusive to the whole students' body, there is nothing that can be achieved. So we'd love to majorly first start from the grassroots, then we can achieve the better things.
Interesting. You've hinted on reviewing policies. Could you please be more particular on which policies you would like to review?
The policy mainly we'd love to review is the tuition policy. We'd love to bring it to in a way that it can be fair to the students. That is by, I have an idea related to that. We have a guild fund policy that we love to introduce to the students. This guild fund is going to help very many of them that haven't been able to sit for their papers, whereby you see the guild budget. There are very many things that are quite irrelevant, very many things that are not priorities. But then if we redirect the funds from some projects such as the Capital Development Fund, if we redirect that policy, it's not a policy, if we redirect that from it's a project, if we direct the funds of that project and bring it to the guild fund, we can create a pool of money that is present for the students. The students can come to us, get money, so that they can actually sit for their papers without having to do papers simply because you have paid for a certain amount of money. Wouldn't that be a wastage of resources? Wouldn't that be wastage of time for the next semester? Personally, I do 11 course units. How am I going to sit for my 7 course units and I leave out 4 of them to resit next semester, and yet I have more 11 to sit? Would love to do that so that the students can actually get a loan, pay without interest, so that they get to sit their papers, even when they still fail to accommodate the tuition. We believe that you can actually let students sit papers. And there is also the land policy, whereby we can use that, redefine it, enable students who have agro-businesses to actually cultivate on that land, and then they give back to the university tuition management people. Majorly, most of the things need to be reviewed, the policies. So we'd love to start with that.
Okay, still with you, Martha. If you won the guild presidential race, in your first 90 days in office, what would you prioritize? What would you start with?
Two main things I would start with, that is mending the relationship between the administration and the student leaders and the students at large. We'd love to first create a society where everyone is free to engage, however much there is hierarchy of standards. We'd love to first do that, and also we hope to create a comfortable learning environment for the students so that they can actually get a feel that they are part of Busitema, like this is my university, and without me being able to engage with someone from Namasagali, someone from Arapai, there is no way I'm going to enjoy this process. So with inclusiveness, we want to expand on what the current guild has done. Yes, they have brought the social galas, they have brought the sports galas, they have brought the culture galas. However, most of the students are limited. Not many of us are sportswomen, not many of us are sportsmen, not many of us participate in that. So for us, we'd love to ensure that at least students get to visit the different campuses just to benchmark, see how other students live their social lives, so that we can actually work for the better Busitema. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that very insightful submission. I would like to ask Kamara Onesmus. Could you please fill us in your manifesto?
Thank you so very much.
In like 2 minutes.
Thank you so very much. We as the students movement, and me as Kamara Onesmus, who is the vision bearer for the students movement, we are powering a better student experience in Busitema University and changing the policies that have been existing into prosperity. In other words, actualizing the already existing policies that are dormant, and by the end of the day, they need to benefit the students. We as the students movement, we have dubbed our manifesto as charge. We need to charge Busitema University. We need to recharge Busitema University, and we need to recharge again Busitema University to benefit the students. In the acronym of charge, C stands for communication, H health and well-being, A academic excellence, R representation, G growth and innovation, and finally E empowerment and a safe environment. And if I could be given more time, then I would literally break every letter, what it stands for and what we are hoping to do. This manifesto entirely closes all the challenges that we are having in Busitema University that are affecting students, of which we believe it necessarily needs the office of the guild president to work on them. Thank you so very much.
I'll give you time. Could you please explain this?
Thank you.
2 minutes.
Thank you so very much. On the issue of communication, we as the students of Busitema University, and particularly the members of the Students Guild, we hope to make our voices being raised and at the same time participate in shaping the decisions of the university. And we are here to say, if there is a challenge that happens amongst the students, then the guild president is in a position to stand and raise a voice on behalf of them. I can give like one problem. We are having a challenge of variation of tuition in campuses like Namasagari, where a student wakes up in the morning, is supposed to pay 1.5 million, the next day it is 1.7, the next day it is 2 million. By the end of the day, we ask ourselves, where is the variation of these figures coming from? There is no feedback. And we are here to say, we need to make communication effective. We communicate to administration, bridge that gap, and by the end of the day, we bring feedback to fellow students. When we talk about health and well-being, when we look at the healthcare system that we have in our particular campuses, we believe it is better, but then we need to make it best. When we come to campuses like Nagongera and Arapai, their population, when you move them to the national scale, they are fit to have health center 3s. But apparently, when you just look at the healthcare system that we have, it is even very hard to have the cheapest first aid. What we are saying is that within our first 90 days of our office, in terms of office, I as a guild president, I will use my powers, write letters to the Ministry of Health through the office of the Vice Chancellor, so that at least we are considered, because we have the population and it fits the national scale. And we are also looking at issues of mental health services that we want to bring to Busitema University. Because we are going through a lot, we need to make sure that our students are well prepared mentally. When we look at the issue of academic excellence, when I talk about the issue of stable results, when you go to campuses like Palisa, you wake up, you sit for exams, after some time, you wake up in the morning and you find you have retakes. We have seen very many students who have been denied to nominate because they have retakes, of which some of these retakes just came because of system failures. We are saying no. This is the right time for us students to come out and we speak.
Thank you very much, Kamara Onesmus. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are headed for a short interlude, after which we shall be listening from Stacy Martha Alowo. She will be giving us her manifesto, what she intends to do for the university, and many other things. Thank you so much. Let's be back after this short break.
Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides.
Welcome to Busitema University, where your journey to a bright future begins. We are thrilled to welcome you to our community of learners, teachers, and innovators. With 6 campuses strategically located across the country, offering unparalleled access to quality education. From the scenic hills of Busia to the vibrant towns of Mbale, Arapai, Nagongera, Kaliro, and Namasagali, these campuses embody the diversity and richness of Uganda's culture and landscape. Today, the university offers vast courses in engineering, science education, and technological science, animal and environmental sciences, as well as medicine. This arms students with a foundation and skills in pursuit of excellence for decades to come.
Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus.
Welcome back from that very short break. Still we are at Faculty of Science and Education, streaming live from BUTV. Thank you for joining us, viewers. And now we are going to listen from Stacy Alowo. Stacy Toto, could you please fill us into your manifesto? I would like to know what package you have for the university.
Yes, thank you. My manifesto has 4 major points. That is inclusivity, accountability, transparency, and relationship management. With inclusivity, just like I said before, we'd love to engage all the students, irrespective of the campuses where they come from. Being a multi-campus university, many of the students have felt marginalized. They haven't gotten a chance to see how other students live their lives in other faculties. Hence, when you visit a faculty, throughout my campaign trail, I have moved to all the 6 faculties. However, I realized that we actually face the same problems. Insecurity, there is double standard welfare, we have those unfair tuition policies, but then we do not get the chance to air them out as a university. It is always on faculty level, and therefore most of the students are not helped, given the fact that they are scattered. So first, what we want to do is to bring the students together first. Sit at the round table with the different bodies of the students so that we can actually get to know what problems need to be prioritized, what problem needs to be sorted first before we get to any other mode of help. So we'd love to incorporate all the students. That is by expanding also on what the current guild has done, just like bringing out more social events so that these people can get to rebuild their social network. School is not the end of life. We are going to step out there. However, I will meet you. Yes, you're from Namasagali, you're from Palisa. We both studied from Busitema University. But I will be in need of help. You are going to tell me you studied from Busitema, but the bond that we are having at that particular moment is not as serious the one we would have had if I had gotten to know that you're from this campus, if I had gotten to know you before that day. So the help will not be serious. Accountability. The students need to know what is happening. The students need to know how their problems are being handled. The students need to know how their leaders are actually producing services. You do not send someone to office and you'll just stay with them for 8 months. You'll see me on campus, yes, I'm a fellow student, but I will not have the power to walk to you and tell you this and this is what has happened, this and this is how the problem was solved, simply because we are not having a good relationship. You're just a mere student. I'm saying you're just a mere student. And then transparency. These students deserve to know what is going on, what is happening. We hope to have state of the campus. That is whereby we shall be visiting the different faculties so that we can address the issues that the students face, get to know the condition in which they are in, so as we can actually table to the top management and see how these problems are solved with immediate effect. Then relationship management. We love to first start from the grassroots, repair the bond between the administration and the student's body so that we can actually achieve to greater heights. Thank you.
I'll start from there. How do you intend to bridge this gap between the students and the administration?
Thank you. You see, we do have most events whereby it is only the students' leaders that appear. So what we want to do is, say for example, we're having the General Assembly. We'd love to invite even the top management so that they get to interact with the students, get to know how the students are actually feeling. Those galas that we have, we'd love to invite the top management so that the students get to know that yes, this is my VC, Vice Chancellor, this is the person in charge of the Dean of Students Affairs, this is the person in charge of the different activities. Because without, trust me, you're going to walk out there, you will ask a student, what is the name of the new Chancellor of the university? And they will not answer you, simply because they do not know that person. They haven't seen that person, they haven't gotten to engage with the person. Just like how in normal human nature, before you get to interact with someone, you already have your kind of judgment. However, when you get to interact with that person, your perception about someone totally changes. So we'd love to start from the grassroots, and there we shall be able to fix almost all the problems that we face as students. Thank you.
Busitema University is a multi-campus university, as you mentioned, and you talked about bringing students together. in activities and so many other things. So could we know which kind of activities are these?
Thank you. The current guild did bring the sports gala. They introduced the culture galas. However, those activities limit most students. So for us, we'd love to have campus tours whereby students will go and benchmark. Yes, I will sit in my van, my bus that I have as a faculty. I'm going to move to Namasagali, that is on the other side of the world. I'm going to go there, benchmark with these students, interact with them, get to know their social life. And also would love to reintroduce the debates, the inter-campus quizzes, so that students get a chance to reboot, get to know that, you know, there is a life out there beside books. And another thing we'd love to do is, we might not engage all the students at the same time, but you could get like particular groups. Today, year ones, obviously not everyone. Let's say a bus carries 67 people. Those are 67 students in a class. Bring them to Nagongera just for that. Even when you're having these campus quizzes, campus debates, the first hours of the morning are for serious business. In the afternoon, you guys are socializing, just like how we used to do it in high school, to rebuild the bond. When people are bonded, when people are united, things are achieved better. Thank you.
Stacy, how realistic are your plans, considering the university may not have as many resources to solve those problems? We might not have fuel and vans to transport people here and there that frequently. So do you have programs or partnerships where you intend to source these funds from? Do you have ideas where you intend to get this money from?
Yes, we do hope to engage the convocation, and just in case our guild fund policy goes through, we can use some of those funds to source for the fuel, to source for the welfare of the students, not basically the convocation.
Yes.
There are very many other things you can do.
Kindly let us know.
Okay, thank you. So, you see, where our university is situated, there are very many important people in this society. We could actually have a fundraising ceremony where these people are going to come, and who we can play games like who's the highest bidder. Yes, I'll contribute 100,000 shillings for fuel. That is from the current speaker. I'll contribute this. So with that, we get to collect money that you can actually use to fuel the buses and also cater for the welfare of the students. Yes, and also we do have alumni, very important alumni. They can actually, even though someone contributes 20,000, that 20,000 shillings is just enough to add on what money we as the guild have to cater for the students. The projects also that we want to resurrect among the students' bodies, we can use that to get income, so that we can source for these events that are going to be happening. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to attending one of those fundraising ceremonies. Onesmus, Kamara, in your manifesto you talked of student innovation, entrepreneurship, something like that. So what is your plan to support this student innovation and entrepreneurship?
Thank you so very much. The students that I was engaging with in Arapai, where a group of students in the agribusiness class approached me and they told me that they had an entrepreneurial project that they were working on of poultry farming, and they had reached out to me telling me that they had a challenge of 3 million to run the project. They needed to buy feeds for the chicken and also adding more in the production of their activity. Me personally, as a student, number one, looked at it as an initiative and also a business perspective. I personally wouldn't contribute much to it, but then I also thought about an idea of by the end of the day, if the guild can come on board, or else if we can engage administration to come out and, number one, increasing funding for these projects through growth and innovation. Number one, we are promoting competence-based curriculum, and number two, we are bringing the knowledge to closer to the students. If we fund such kinds of projects, number one, students are going to benefit in terms of learning. They're also going to get those entrepreneurial skills to run their businesses when they go out there. And by the end of the day, the faculty also again is earning. So we are looking at investment as we are also earning. It is not entirely that the money is going. If we pick 3 million from the guild and we put in that initiative or that project, it is not that we are making a loss, or else we are just putting there for the sake of putting money. But by the end of the day, we are going to get resources back. In other words, if we don't get to the guild, but at least it goes back to the students, and the students are actually the members of the students guild. In one way or the other, we are all benefiting. We are having a guild business complex that has been an initiative for a very long period of time of setting up a guild business hub, which has the offices of the students guild. It has rental areas, it has a restaurant area, a washing bay area. But then this project, it has been in existence for over 5 years, and we have never done groundbreaking. It is a 1.078 billion project that we as the students, number one, when you come to Busitema University, or when like the visiting head of state comes to Busitema University, you cannot show where the guild offices are. But then there is a concept note that was written, and it is just there stagnant. When you read Article 13 of the Guild Constitution, it provides for finances on how the Guild accesses the finances. And one of them, number one, we have the donations, we have the grants, we have conversion fundraising ceremonies, and also using the powers as a Guild president and also occupying a national office to move out there and you lobby for resources to come and have such strategic projects that are happy, that need to be worked upon. And me as Kamara Onesmus, I will utilize all the friends that I've made as of now, and I will utilize the opportunities that I will have once I'm given the position of a guild president to at least do a groundbreaking of such a guild business project. I cannot say that it is going to be an easy walkover, but then with commitment and constant pressing on, we are going to work on this guild business project, so that in the next 5 years when we come back to Busitema University, at least we know these are the guild chambers. This is the business that Busitema is working on. I thank you so much.
Interesting conversation. So, Onesmus Kamara, where do you intend to source for these funds for this guild complex?
Thank you so very much. Number one, we are having strategic companies that are surrounding us. This is construction, and I, as a water resources engineer and also engages in construction, we are having Tororo Cement is besides us. Writing a concept note to Tororo Cement as a way of trying to fundraise for materials during the construction is something very easy, because it benefits all of us. Tororo Cement benefits from Busitema University because we have students who do management courses in Paris. They are employing some of them. We have engineers from the Busitema campus. They are employing all of them. And they also have what we call the Social Responsibility Fund. And this is the fund that is available for us to go there and source. We can write letters to Uganda Clays Agency. We can write to Steel and Tube Industries. They have social responsibility funds. We can source funds from there. And I believe, since it is provided for in the Guild Constitution, and we can use the office of the Vice Chancellor and also the office of the Chancellor, who is also an engineer. Once we give him this concept note, I doubt if he is going to refuse it, because it is for the better of Busitema University, and we all look at how we make Busitema University great. Thank you.
So, out of curiosity, I'm just wondering, this guild complex is, which campus do you intend to put it in?
Thank you so very much.
Just one answer. Which campus?
As per the article of the Guild Constitution, it mandates that the head offices of the Students' Guild lie at the Busitema campus. However, we look and intend to have these branches extended to all the campuses. Once we set up the center of the guild, then we can also create branches, create avenues of bringing branches, because we have students in all over the 7 campuses that we are having in Busitema. Thank you.
Okay, because I was wondering if guild president is from Namasagali and the office is in main campus. But perfect. Over to you, Alowo Martha Stacy. What plans do you have to improve the academic support for the students?
Thank you so much. We hope, hope is the beginning of everything. So we hope to engage with the students, get to know what kind of issues they face, and some of the issues such as are delay of release of marks. There is they do not have scholastic materials in the classroom, and personally as a teacher I have faced very many issues. Yes, we don't have chalk. You have a presentation, yes, you're forced to go and just pick a piece of chalk. So we hope to get a stationary place here so that we can get all these materials and place them there so that the students can easily access them without having to go to the office, whereby sometimes you don't even find the admins there. So we'd simply want to set up somewhere a scholastic material shop so that the students can get the materials. And also the delay of results, would hope to follow up in case we have done papers, end of semester exams. Would love the lecturers to have a deadline on which they will base on to mark their papers. With that, they will be able to release the marks on time. Yes, thank you.
Okay, I have a very other question for you still, Stacy. Busitema has so very many campuses. How exactly will you ensure equal representation and service delivery across all the campuses?
Thank you.
As Guild President.
That would be the use of teamwork. You see, the Guild President cannot do that alone. The Guild President has people that help him or her out. So if we do use teamwork, you see, the person that represents the Guild President in the campus is the Resident Campus Commissioner. So the Resident Campus Commissioner will be able to coordinate the different activities that go on in the different bodies of the students that serve. So we shall be able to do that. And also we need to look at the faculties that are having the major issues so that they can actually be sorted out with immediate effect. However, you do put the other faculties that do have issues in the pipeline so that you get to know that things do happen in a phased manner. Yes, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to usher us into a very interesting session. This is quite new to the Guild presidential debates. It's a quiz. We know that to be a Guild president, you should be passionate about your university. So we are just going to check how well you know about this university. Randomly, I have quite a number of questions here, and I will ask to any candidate. You just give us the answer, and would like to know how well do you know Busitema University. I'll start with Kamara Onesmus. Are you okay, Onesmus?
I'm okay. Sound and clear.
Who is the current Chancellor of Busitema University, and subsequently who is the former Chancellor of Busitema University?
The current Chancellor of Busitema University is Engineer Dr. Badl Chigunda, and the former Chancellor of Busitema University is Professor Vinod Natodia. Thank you.
Okay. I will leave the electorate to judge whether the answers are correct or not.
Very correct.
Because I'll not chip in. If the answer is wrong, you'll put it in the comment section. Stacy, how many campuses does Busitema University have?
There are 6 campuses.
Could you name them?
We have Arapai campus, we have Palisa campus, we have Mbale campus. However, under Mbale there is Kawangasi, which is the newest. We have main campus, we have Nagongera campus and Namasagali campus.
Okay. Onesmus, could you please state for us the university mission?
The university mission is to provide a center for academic excellence. Thank you.
Okay. I will leave that for the electorate to judge if the answer is right or not. But however, I don't think that's the mission of the university. Stacy, what is the vision of the university?
The vision of the university This is a center of excellence in scientific, technological, and professional education.
Okay. I will ask Onesmus Kamara, who is the chairperson of the University Council?
The chairperson of the University Council is Professor William Bazeyo.
Okay, for the Electorate to judge still. Stacy Martha, there is a senior sixth vacist who would like to apply to Busitema University, but specifically Arapai campus. Guide them on some of the courses they can take up in that campus.
There are a variety of courses in Arapai campus. However, that student could opt for animal production, agro business, and then sustainable something.
Sustainable agriculture.
Yes, sustainable agriculture.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We shall take a short break and we shall be back with a more interesting discussion.
Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Martha Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election.
Welcome to Busitema University, where your journey to a bright future begins. We are thrilled to welcome you to our community of learners, teachers, and innovators. With 6 campuses strategically located across the country, offering unparalleled access to quality education. From the scenic hills of Busia to the vibrant towns of Mbale, Arapai, Nagongera, Kaliro, and Namasagali, these campuses embody the diversity and richness of Uganda's culture and landscape. Today, the university offers vast courses in engineering, science education, and technological science, animal and environmental sciences, as well as medicine. This arms students with a foundation and skills in pursuit of excellence for decades to come. Welcome to Busitema University, where your journey to a bright future begins. We are thrilled to welcome you to our community of learners, teachers, and innovators. With 6 campuses strategically located across the country, offering unparalleled access to quality education. From the scenic hills of Busia to the vibrant towns of Mbale, Arapai, Nagongera, Kaliro, and Namasagali, these campuses embody the diversity and richness of Uganda's culture and landscape. Today, the university offers vast courses in engineering, science education, and technological science, animal and environmental sciences, as well as medicine. This arms students with a foundation and skills in pursuit of excellence for decades to come. Welcome to Busitema University, where your journey to a bright future begins.
Welcome to Busitema.
We are thrilled to welcome you to our community of learners, teachers,
presidential
and innovators.
debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV, 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to B. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellence. Busitema University 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026. Welcome to BUTV 17th Guild Election Presidential Debate. Join us for a high-stakes election debate. Kamara Onesmus, from policies to prosperity. Stacy Alowo Toto, rooted in values reaching for excellency. Busitema decides 2026.
Welcome back. Still, this is BUTV, the 2026 presidential debate of Busitema University. We are getting into the very last session, yet in no means the least, and yet very interesting. We are going to have a cross-examination between the candidates. We shall also have views from the electorate, those listening to us from outside. We shall have our calls at a later time that I'll read a number to. But for now, let's get into business. Dear candidates, we are getting into a session where you're going to ask each other questions. Kamara Onesmus, do you have a question for Martha Stacy?
Yes, one or two?
One.
Okay. I will not bring in something new. I'm directly going to ask exactly what she has said, spoken about. She has told us that they are going to work on a guild fund, and the amount of money that is coming from the guild fund, specifically they are going to pick it from the guild budget, if I got the statements very well. And she was talking about the very many unnecessary expenditures that the guild is making. My question goes, what are those very many unnecessary expenditures that you intend to avoid once you are given power so that you facilitate your guild project. Then how much money is allocated to the guild apparently that you are going to work on, so that you can also fund the project that you're having? Thank you.
Thank you so much. The first things first, the current guild budget runs on an amount of 195 million. And yes, the very many irrelevant activities that are in the guild budget include, we have the guild presidential tours. In my time of being in Busitema, I haven't seen any guild president come to Nagongera simply to check on us. 2.4 million is allocated, roughly, but we do not know what that money actually does. How many times has the guild president himself or herself left their particular campus to go and visit other campuses to check on them? We do have public holiday motivation. I do not understand exactly what that is. You see, most of these things are very irrelevant. And if we actually look at the budget, relook at it, refix it, we can actually get more realistic things that can be catered for. We do have there was a medical camp budget over 16 million shillings. Personally, I haven't seen any tangible result that there was a medical camp here. That yes, students went for their medical checkup and they were given back results. I haven't seen. However, 16 million was allocated to that. There are different clubs that are catered for 4 million. I didn't hear from any club that yes, we did receive something from the guild fund. All those do not amount to anything serious. They are not in benefit of the student body. But a guild fund policy is going to benefit the students. This money can be put into the pool so that when the money is there, you see, 195 million, that money is available. It is there. We are not looking for money from anywhere else. The money is within the guild. The money is in the budget. So if we relook at that budget, redirect the funds from wherever, we can actually be able to support these students so that in turn they can also support other students by returning the money. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Stacy Martha. You could also ask Onesmus a question.
Yes, my question is very simple. Mr. Kamara, Onesmus, how are you going to ensure that healthcare, most especially mental health care, is accorded to the students, given the fact that many of us are battling issues within our minds, but then we do not even have someone to go and tell them to? How are you going to ensure that this university is a safe place for me to air out that I'm being sexually harassed, that I'm being cyberbullied, that my grades have been dropped simply because I do not have friends? How are you going to ensure that?
Thank you so very much for that opportunity and question. Cyber School used to provide us with mental health programs, and of which has not happened this year. And then we are asking if the Students Guild has a strategic partnership with Cyber School to provide mental health initiatives and programs, then why don't we write letters to them again and they bring such programs to us? Because the mental health of our fellow students is very crucial and paramount. When we talk about the issue of healthcare system, students are paying a medical fee, but then when you come on ground, the impact of their medical fee is not felt. And in my preamble, when I was still introducing, I told the students of Busitema University that we are looking at key initiatives. If the existing healthcare systems, we can't improve them as the university, then it is incumbent upon us in the office of the guild president to write to the Ministry of Health so that they can come and give us support if we cannot raise to the standard to support students. And I also gave you examples of Arapai and Nagongera campus that have populations that are, when you compare them to a national scale, they are eligible to have health center 3s. So if that is a community that we have tried to organize here, then literally we can also write a concept note to the Ministry of Health, and they come and they provide us with the services. Then for the issue of the sexual harassment, we have an initiative of the Busitema University Sexual Harassment Program, where they have developed an app where students report those cases. It is a bit disappointing that my fellow candidate who is contesting has not interacted with that kind of a system. We tell students that you don't need to keep quiet when such programs come on board. Because if you are sexually harassed and there have been programs that are organized to sensitize students about this, such kind of programs, then we need to take serious note about them. However much I don't say that it is so unfortunate, because she already told us that she has always been in her comfort zone. So being in a comfort zone automatically tells us that she has not paid keen attention to most of these key projects that we are having as Busitema University. And by the end of the day, if the initiatives are there, then Kamara Onesmus intends to increase the awareness and also engage the class coordinators that in case such kind of opportunities come on board, then we'll make the students completely aware about them. Thank you so very much.
Stacy Martha, what idea from Kamara's manifesto would you pick?
The only realistic idea in his manifesto would be supporting, because at the end of the day it benefits the whole student's body.
Onesmus, what idea would you pick from Stacy Martha's manifesto and implement?
The point that I would pick from her manifesto, if at all I'm elected into office, however much she didn't exhaust it to the best of interest of the students of Busitema University, is about inclusivity in terms of representation. This is the way I would handle that situation of inclusivity. When we look at outcome in year one, relative to the guild, they are not represented anywhere. But when you go to other universities, like let's say Gulu University, when you go to Makerere, when you go to Chambogo, we have chief freshers that always represent these year ones on the guild, which is not happening. Elected as a guild president, I'm going to make it a point that if we sit down as 6 campuses and we choose to vote amongst these ones, so that we have one representative who is going to represent these freshers on the guild, so that they can also feel included, and also look at an initiative of trying to make sure that we alter and change the guild constitution, so that these year ones are also given an opportunity to come and contest for guild positions, because they also have the ideas in brain. They have also interacted with the challenges, because apparently the system says you must complete two semesters to be eligible to contest for certain positions. But then we are saying, now what about a student who is doing 2 years? Because by the end of the 2 semesters you are already a finalist. But then we need to say there is inclusivity. So if I'm given an opportunity to be a guild president, I will be tackling the issue on it, however much it was unsatisfactory. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Onesmus Kamara.
Yes, please.
What point in your opponent's manifesto do you find extremely unrealistic, and why?
When I look at the manifesto, I would say they are unrealistic if they were straight on point. But then these are generic phrases that by the end of it is very hard to pick out a point and we say this is the challenge that is affecting students. So me personally, I see the manifesto as being generic. It has no specific purpose. It has no specific key point that it is tackling. If it is the issue of accountability, then we would say yes, and transparency. But then, where do we see a problem of accountability that we are trying to address in this sense? Thank you.
I would like to chip in a bit. She's been mentioning a lot of things, accountability and what, so generic might be an overstatement. So maybe you'd pick from that, and but however, let's go to Stacy Martha. Which part of Kamara's manifesto do you find extremely unrealistic, and why?
I am not contented with the mental health bit, because he did not fully exhaust how he's going to make this a safe and comfortable environment for the oppressed student to air out their problems. Thank you.
Onesmus Kamara, what makes you a better suited candidate for this position?
Fellow students of Busitema University, what makes me feel a better candidate for the position of Guild President is relying on one ideal principle that I move on. The belief that we can still press on. One man, Martin Luther King, once said that the future belongs to those who press on. I, Kamara Onesmus, will press on until we have a better tuition policy. Kamara Onesmus will press on until we have a better health care system. Kamara Onesmus is going to press on until we have a better academic policy. Kamara Onesmus is going to press on until we have better welfare amongst the students. And I believe that ideal belief and urge that we can still press on and have an impact, however much the challenges seem to be very many, still gives me an upper hand that I believe I'm the best candidate for the position. I thank you.
Stacy Martha Alowo, why do you think the electorate should trust you over your opponent? What makes you better suited?
What makes me better suited for this position is the fact that throughout this conversation, I have been brutally honest on this human world. And based on the principles that we have been mentioning, the principles that we have used in our manifesto, still makes me a better candidate. There is no way you are going to jump to the bigger things without first looking at the values that you hold as a student. First looking at the values that bring you up as a human being. So, what makes me a better candidate is the fact that I am committed to serve. I am committed to being honest with the students. I am committed to being transparent and accountable to the whole students' body. Thank you.
It's been quite an discussion here with the two Guild presidential candidates. Right now, we'd like to take the mantle over to the electorate. We have our lines that you could call on and ask a particular question either to either of the candidates. You could call on MTN 079 230 4087 079 230 4087 or on Airtel 070 351 2364 0703 12364. So we could be waiting to get some of those. We could pick some of those calls. Ladies and gentlemen that are joining us online, we could be taking questions from you. Kindly call on 079 230 4087 or 070351 2364. We shall be taking questions for our candidates on those lines. Okay, as we are still waiting for those calls to come in, you could as well send a message. You can call or send a message and give a comment or ask a question to any of these two presidential candidates before us. Ladies and gentlemen, as we wait for that session to take on, we shall be taking our parting shots from our candidates conclusively. Could you give us your parting shots? You could tell the electorate why they should vote for you, how they should vote for you, when they should vote for you. Feel free to give us your slogan and maybe your hype for this. We shall start with Kamara Onesmus.
Thank you so very much, gallant students of Busitema University. The voting is happening on 9th April, which is a day after tomorrow, and it will be a Thursday. Voting starts from 8 a.m. up to 4 p.m. in the evening. So I would kindly request all the students of Busitema University to stand up in bigger numbers and trust Kamara Onesmus to be the next Guild president. We are working on a mandate K4G movement, and we believe, fellow students, once we are given the opportunity.
Just a minute. Yes, please. Hello. Good evening to you. Maybe you could tell us your name and where you're calling from. Yes, please. Yes, please. Just a minute, please. I'm going to request you. Hello.
Madam Stacy.
Kindly please pardon your question.
Hello?
Could you kindly please pardon your question?
My question says, leadership requires making difficult and sometimes unpopular decisions. I want to know, as Madam Stacy, which example of a tough decision will she make as a good president, which will be in favor of students, even if it may not please anyone?
Okay, we've gotten your question. She'll be able to respond to you. Let's pick another person.
Let this one goes to Kamara.
Okay.
This one goes to Kamara. If elected as a good president, how will he make sure that students can hold him accountable for the promises and the system that he will put in place for transparency?
Okay, your questions have been well noted. Thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome.
We shall get on to another person. Hello. Hello, yes please, you are live on BUTV.
Thank you for letting me in and taking my call. I have a question to ask Stacy Alowo.
Yes please, maybe you could start by introducing yourself.
But what is the first concrete action she will take in the first 30 days in office, and how exactly will she fund it? Because I heard she said about the fund of the guild fund, so I'm like, her manifesto is not bad, but what is the first concrete action she will take if she's voted for in office for the first 30 days?
Okay, thank you so much for your call. Allow us to pick another person.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello, you're live on BUTV.
Okay, my name is Busitema. We said that Busitema University, Arabic campus.
Yes, please.
Yes, my question goes towards Kamara Onesmus. As we are facing a study in the hospital, the health center being very fake, whereby even you go there and get the fund and when it's not available. How is he going to make sure that we get an health center series when even the fund is not available? Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Allow us to pick another person.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, please. Hello.
Yes, please. This is BUT.
Yes, hello. You're talking to my name Isaac.
Yes, please, Isaac.
Yes, my question goes to Honorable Kamara Onesmus.
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Yeah, my question is what is that major point that Mr. Kamara Onesmus considered before contesting for the second time, despite that he lost it last year?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
He's got a question.
That major point that inspired him to apply for the second time, despite what it transpired the last year.
Okay.
Yes, please.
We shall take these questions and we shall be able to respond to this. So I'll start with Martha Stacy. Could you respond to the questions that have been given to you?
Yes, I was asked what tough decision would I make as a guild president that would be in support of the students. Due to the atrocities that have happened to us, unreliable services such as Wi-Fi, many of the students have been forced to take up arms to do something that is, for example, a peaceful demonstration. However, they have not been backed by the leaders. I am making a pledge as Stacy Martha, Alowo Toto. I will side with the students in whatever decision this is for the betterment of the whole students' body. And also, I shall do uncompromised right. We deserve to have. Many of the people are limited due to the fact that there is fear that something will happen to me if I do raise my voice. Something will happen to me if I decide to stand in the interest of the students. However, being known for my very hard nature, I will do uncompromised advocacy. Thank you.
There was another question that was directed to you in your first 30 days in office.
Yes. What concrete action would I take?
Yes.
The concrete action I would take is mainly to rebuild the relationship between the administration and the students' body. Given the fact that there is nothing that can be achieved, quote me right, nothing can be achieved without those two bodies having a proper relationship. And trust that you will notice changes within the first 30 days if given the mandate to serve. Thank you.
Okay. Onesmus Kamara, could you respond to the questions that were
Thank you so very much,
to you?
moderator, for that wonderful opportunity. And to my fellow students of Busitema University, without excluding any campus and without answering questions with bias. The first question that came from Mr. Seneo Aku